Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, growth team from wherever you are watching. Welcome to this channel. If it is your first, second, third, fourth time coming, welcome back. But if it is your very first time to come to this channel, please welcome to the channel where we have empowering conversations about our careers. We want to have more rewarding, more fulfilling, and even more progressive careers. So if that is what you're looking for, then you're in the right place. My name is Karen Olege. I am a career strategist and coach. And in today's episode, we will be looking at networking strategies. Networking is a buzzword, but we hardly know what it is and we hardly know how to use it to our advantage. And that is what today's episode is about. So let's get started. This is Career Growth with Karen. So, as I have mentioned, today we are talking about networks, and everyone thinks they are very networked. And I will start by asking you, actually, this is the kind of video that you need to watch while pausing so that you can reflect. I want to ask you, how many contacts do you have in your phone? How many contacts do you have? That's the first place we begin by, networking, because these days, in this age, all our networks are in our phone, most of them. So how many contacts do you have in your phone? And what percentage of those contacts are your peers? And by your peers, I mean just your friends, those people you schooled with in high school, in campus. Some of them are your cousins and your siblings. What percentage of those are CEOs or business owners, or they are somewhere in senior management? How many? You will find very few. Maybe just 10% or even 5%. Actually, for most of us, it's less than 2% of the contacts that we have that are influential people. What percentage are recruiters or people in HR? Again, for most of us, for someone like me who is in HR, I definitely have very many HR contacts. But for majority of us, very few. For some, no one at all. So what kind of contacts do you have? And that's the key thing to ask yourself. Some of us are very networked, but we are networked with the kind of contacts that cannot assist us. They cannot help us in our career journey. And I'm talking here about networks that can help you in your career journey. Of course, sometimes we need networks for different things, completely different things. But for this particular episode, we are talking about networks that can be useful to us in our career journey. So you may be there thinking you're highly networked, you have these 1,000 contacts in your phone, but you do not have a single recruiter, you do not have a single HR person, you don't have a single CEO or a single business owner, you don't have anyone in senior management, and these are the groups of people who make hiring decisions for companies. Actually, these are the people who hire. No one else except those categories of people that I have mentioned. Those are the people who hire. So if you do not have contacts of these people, regardless of how many contacts you have, no, you are not networked. And that is why that uncle of yours who you gave your CV has never called you for a job, because they are not HR, they are not a recruiter, they are not senior management, they are not management at all, they are not a CEO or a business owner. Anyone else besides that does not make a hiring decision. So I hope we are together until there. So what do? We want to be networked. We want to be connected to people who can give us work. And remember, being networked career-wise does not only help you when you're trying to launch into your career. It helps you all along, because even after you get your first job, you could be in your first, your second, your third job. As long as you have not retired, you're always looking for the next opportunity. You're always looking for the next job. You're always looking for a bigger opportunity, an advancement opportunity in your career, a promotion or a job move or something. And in every career movement decision that you're making, most of the time it works if you're very well networked. And that's why we are having this conversation about networking strategy as it applies in careers. So the number one lesson, I will share with you 4 lessons regarding networking strategies. The first lesson you need to learn when it comes to networking is that, number one, from today, you need to expand your networks. And what do I mean? I mean that we have very many contacts, we have very many friends, we have very many people in our phone books, but those people cannot help us to get jobs. They cannot help us to get promotions. They cannot help us to advance in our careers. And the people who need to give us jobs, those recruiters, those HR managers, those senior management people, every manager is a hiring manager. Those managers and those CEOs and business owners, those are the people who we need to have in our network networks, and this is regardless of age. You could actually even be 21 or 22, you're just graduating from campus. It is possible to make networks with that caliber of people. So don't feel like this is way above your league. If you're younger and you're a budding professional, please understand that this is also for you. You can also expand your networks in that caliber. Be present in more places than you are now. Perhaps right now you're just present among your circles of friends, your social group, the guys you used to hang out together in Campo. But these people, they cannot help you get a job because they are just like you. They are also trying to get a job. They are not recruiting. Of course, it will get to a point later in life where all of you have grown and all of you are in senior management of different organizations, and now you can start to hire one another. But before you get there, please be present in more places than you are now. Be present on LinkedIn. Be present on professional WhatsApp groups. Don't just be in gossip WhatsApp groups and those WhatsApp groups that don't add value to you. Be in a professional WhatsApp group. For me, as a HR person, I'm in HR WhatsApp groups. And even for you, WhatsApp groups, there's no one who vets. There's no one who does a vetting. I belong to HR WhatsApp groups where I know people in those groups who are not HR, but they're just there so that they can be seen when an opportunity is posted. They can get the information firsthand. So belong to some of these groups that will add value to you career-wise. Belong to professional bodies. Every career, almost every career has a professional body, and maybe I'm talking about maybe the white collar. If you're a marketer, you're in procurement, you're in supply chain, you're in finance, you're in projects. Each of these professions has a professional body. Please register and be part of a professional body, which is a network of people who are in the same profession as you. Belong to HR and recruitment groups. As I have told you, there is no vetting. If there is a WhatsApp group for recruiters, for me, even if I'm not a recruiter, I want to be there because most likely these are the people who are posting jobs every day, and they're posting in their network and sharing with their friends and asking each other, do you have somebody in finance who I can get? Do you have somebody in HR who I can get? So if you're just seated there never saying anything, but at least you're just watching what is happening in the group, you're very likely to bump into opportunities that other people may not bump into. And when I say be present in places, I mean be present. I don't mean be just exist there, but be present by being seen. For example, in LinkedIn, don't just have a LinkedIn profile, but at least be the person who engages on LinkedIn, is active. You post things about your profession, you post things about your skills and your competency. LinkedIn is a marketplace. It's a marketplace for skills and competencies. So please go there and market yourself and showcase your skills and talk about who you are as a professional. And just by doing that, you start to attract people your way who are also looking for people like you. Number 2, showcase your brand. This already ties into, I had already started talking about it in my first point. Showcase, don't just exist in a platform, but showcase who you are. And also when it comes to recruiters and hiring managers, they don't hire for degrees, guys. People are not hiring degrees and masters and diplomas. People are hiring skills. They're hiring values. They're hiring attitudes. They're hiring personalities. They're hiring supportive people. How can I know what your attitude is, what your personality is? How can I know if you're supportive? By looking at your CV. This information is not there in your CV. And what does that mean? You need to showcase your brand. What are you made of? If you are a product, how would you define yourself as a product? Remember, when you're looking for opportunities, you are marketing yourself just like a product. You're marketing yourself in one way or the other. So you need to showcase your brand, whether it is on LinkedIn, whether it is among just people who know you. People need to know you for who you are. For me, I doubt there is anyone who knows me that doesn't know that I am a career coach and strategist. I doubt there's anyone who knows me who doesn't know that I'm an expert in HR matters. And people come to me with HR issues. Why? Because everybody in my networks understands what I do. And what that means is it is very good for people to know what you do, so that when they are looking for that kind of thing, you are the first person that they will come to. And of course, you can always do some things pro bono for your family, your friends, your relatives, but at some point you will start charging a fee even for consultation. And just like that, you already have an income that you're making from your profession and from your knowledge and skill. So showcase who you are. Please let people know. Make your skills visible. Let people know what you're passionate about, what your brand is, what you stand for, what your values are. Let people know that, because that is what people hire. And always remember that before you know what you are as a product, then you can't sell yourself. Meaning you can't market yourself to people before you know who you are as a product. Because at the end of the day, if you're showing yourself to us, we need to be able to answer the question, who are you? What product are you? And if we cannot answer that, then there is nowhere else we are going beyond that. Number 3, after you have showcased your brand, give value. Give people value. Now, for you to have everything in life, and this is a quote I read by Zig Ziglar, for you to have everything you want in life, help everyone else get what they want in life. The people who support others, and actually it is also a golden saying that we receive by giving. If you give people value, this is how you get noticed. That is how you become a contributor to other people's lives. And when you give value to your networks, then you become top of mind to them when they are hiring. What do I mean? You cannot be the person who is always sending CVs, and you're just sending CVs to people and you're telling people, give me a job, give me a job. No, start by giving value. I always say this to young people, especially those who are coming fresh from campus or fresh from learning institutions, and they're just trying to look for work. I always tell them, instead of coming to me and just throwing your CV at me and telling me to get you a job, if you give me your CV, I can promise you 5 minutes later, I will have forgotten your name. I will have forgotten that you even sent me a CV. And even next week, if I have an opportunity in HR, I am likely not to remember you. I'm likely not to remember that you gave me your CV. But there is someone else who will give me value. There's someone else who will come and tell me, oh, I know you're in the space of HR, and I want to send you a certain research I found about some trends that are happening in HR in Australia. I found them very insightful because this and this is what they are talking about. And you send me a report, and we have a conversation about what this report is saying. A conversation that is meaningful to me. How will I not remember who you are? Definitely, if you give people value, they know you. And this is where, even for that person who is telling their uncle, here is my CV, give me a job, please just show up in that your uncle's office, start to do some work, give them value, run errands for them, show them that you are available and you can run some errands. Tell them, instead of going to the bank, since I have time now, I will be running the bank errands for you. The day when they have an opportunity, trust you me, you will be top of mind. Before they hire that other random guy who is helpful in their office, you are the one who will be top of mind. So give value to your networks. Always focus on what is it that I can give, as opposed to what is it that I can receive. If anything, anyone who is parasitic is just a turn off. That one, you know. Anyone who is just there to obtain things from you is always a turn off, and you don't even want to engage with them. But someone who is giving you value, someone who is giving you information, giving you insights, giving you help in one way or the other, this person, when you have an opportunity, even when they are not qualified, you will be really trying to fix them in. Why? Because you feel like you owe them, because they have also given you value. So that is the third trick, to give value to your networks. And finally, engage. And what do I mean? You may either have a job or you don't have a job, but you're looking for one. If you do not have a job, I always say you may not have a job, but you certainly have work. If you're somebody who is you believe in the Bible, in the Word of God, for me, I believe that, God, He shows us through His creation stories that before He creates any human being, He gives you work. He creates a purpose and meaning for you in this world. The work may not be the one that is giving you money. Some of us have work and then we have job. There are things that we do, we are not earning from them. But there are things that we are passionate about, and there are things that we want to do because God has given us the skill. So please engage, work, do what needs to be done, find things to do and do them even when they are not paying you. It is while you're engaged working that you will actually find a job. You may be engaged studying, you may be engaged researching. Just get yourself engaged. You may be engaged volunteering to others, but it is while you're engaged that you will get a job. Alternatively, you may be employed and you're looking for the next opportunity because perhaps where you are, you're not fulfilled, which is fine. Either way, engage. Even in that opportunity that is not fulfilling, find within yourself the strength and the energy to do a good job. Because the moment you start to slack, then it gives you a reputation of a slacked staff or a slacked worker. So if I'm asking for a recommendation from your company about you, they will tell me this one is a lazy person, while you have the excuse of I didn't like the job anyway. But remember, I'm not going to ask you, I'm just going to ask this recommendation from your previous employer. So get yourself engaged in that office, in as much as you don't find the work fulfilling, and it is while you're engaged that you will find your next opportunity. So that is the 4 tips that I had to share about networking strategies. I hope you have found them insightful. Share also in the comment section. Comment your experiences about networking, especially when it's related to careers. Talk about some of these tips. Have you ever used any of these tips and it worked or it did not work? Please share your experience with us and let us learn from one another. That is all I had for you today, growth team, and I'm happy that you kept me company all through this episode. And until next time, see you soon.